Hello dear children, today we shall discuss on format of formal letter. Okay, format of formal letter means how to write a formal letter. There are few steps just like an informal letter we have discussed before. The formal letter has few steps. We have to follow such steps to write a proper, accurate formal letter. Okay, let's start about the first point. So just like informal letter, the first point you have to be sure you have to write sender's address. When you are writing a formal letter to a person, to an institute, to the principal or to the in charge or whatever in the offices, you have to follow such steps. The first one is sender's address. Who is the sender here? I am sending a letter, so it must be my address. Okay, so senders means myself. I am sending a letter, I am writing a letter, so it's my address, it is sender's address. Next is very important, date. You should have make sure that the date should be there. Okay, the date, on that date you are receiving, you are sending a letter to a person or to an institute, you have to mention the date of that. Number 3, receiver's address. What is the meaning of receiver? Receiver means, receive means to get something. So receivers means the person who is getting my letter, who is receiving my letter. Okay, so receiver's address should be here in case of formal letter. So in the format of formal letter, third point is receiver's address. You have to write receiver's address. Now the fourth point here, which is not in an informal letter, subject. Subject means about what you are writing a letter. Just for example, you are writing an application, leave application. So you are requesting for leave. Okay, so that is your subject. So your subject should be mentioned here in case of formal letter. About which, about whom you are asking for or you are requesting for. Number 5 is salutation. As usual in informal letter, जैसे informal letter में salutation होते हैं, so you have to hear salute. You have to refer the person you are writing a letter. And number 6 is body of the letter. The most important part is it. Body of the letter is such your whatever you want to write, whatever you are requesting, you are appealing for a leave, and whatever you are requesting, whatever you are asking for, that should be in your body of the letter part. Point number 7, subscription. Just like an informal letter, here you have to close the letter. This is the second last point of a formal letter. So you have to close the letter with a thanking note, with a positive note. That should be your subscription part. And the last but not the least, your signature. Here the last part is signature. You have to write your full name and designation. Okay, in case of informal letter, we are just writing our name, no need to write the surname and designation. But in case of formal letter, you have to write your full name, means your surname and your designation. Just for example, you are studying in class 5, is it? In a 5th standard and 5th grade. So whenever you are writing a formal letter, you will write your full name and your class and your section. So no need to write your roll number here. That is your full address, that is your full signature, your full name, your class and your section should be mentioned in the last part, that is your signature part, whenever you are writing a formal letter. So these are the 8 parts, these are the 8 points you have to make sure whenever you are writing a formal letter. ऐसा होना चाहिए कि आपके जो 8 parts है होना चाहिए. You have to make sure about that. ठीक है? So in that way you can write a formal letter. First one, sender's address, then date, then you have to remember, है ना? So 8 parts would be there. And in case of informal letter, you have 6 parts, and in case of formal letter, you are 8 parts. So there is a difference between 2 parts. There are more 2 parts here in case of formal letter. Informal letter में 6 parts होते हैं, formal letter में 8 parts होते हैं. So just remember these things, and whenever you are writing a formal letter, make sure your 8 parts should be there. Okay.